Corner, CORNER in small letters. Thank you very much. As most of us are aware, it is quite difficult to seek help for anything. Seeking help in general, it's something that is daunting for most of us to do. Not to talk about people who are suffering. If you've met someone who is struggling with substance abuse, then it is difficult for them to actually accept that they are indeed having a challenge. Least of all, understanding that they need help. And so we need to understand that it will be difficult for them to reach out for help. And so today we'll be looking at some of the help that is available for people that are suffering from substance abuse and how we can help them get that help that they require. With me today to discuss this topic is my friend and my brother, Dr. Haruna Ngada. I had him with us the last time we spoke. Dr. Haruna Ngada is a specialist registrar, General Adult Psychiatry UK, and an Honorary Clinical Fellow from the University of Liverpool. Thank you very much, Dr. Haruna, for joining us once again.
Thank you, Dr. Kim, for having me on your program again. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Yes, thank you. So we're actually going to be looking at help that is available, or if I want to call it, what are the treatments that someone suffering from substance abuse can reach. So to start that, I just want to ask you, as a medical doctor, can you tell us what is the first course of action towards getting help for people that are suffering from substance abuse disorder?
All right, thank you very much. So the answer is going to be a twofold sort of stage, because just generally, sometimes when people are going through or suffer with an addiction or misuse, one of the things is they themselves will know that they have a problem, and the other part is they don't even know they've got a problem. It's others around them that see that, well, this is a problem. Maybe you're drinking too much, or you're now addicted to this cannabis or to this cocaine. So it's a twofold. That's why I said it's sort of twofold. One, the person themselves may realize, well, I think I've got a problem, or family members, friends, or colleagues will say, well, you've got a problem and you need help. Okay, so that's the first step. And don't forget, things like substance addiction and support will mean people will sort of voluntarily have to say, well, I'm ready to stop this substance, or I'm making that decision to stop this substance. I know there are certain places, like maybe in some parts of Africa, West Africa to be specific, like Nigeria, where maybe we don't have some of the laws in other places, like for example in the UK, when people's behaviors then becomes at risk to themselves or to the society. So when their safety or the safety of others is at risk, then we have laws that mean people can make that decision to take them to hospital even against their will. I know back in Nigeria, as far as I'm aware, yet we haven't yet fully gotten that law that offers the power to sort of take you to hospital. So it's still left for families sometimes to take people against their wish to hospital for the substance abuse treatment. But some people themselves, sort of are able to do that. It's good I give that background just so that people understand, when we go on to talk about how to treat people, then we'll bring this, it will make more sense this way. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So can you now just carry on and tell us what treatments are available? What are the help that is out there that every one of us can grasp and use in overcoming substance abuse?
Okay, that's yeah, very good. So we just go on to that. And I think I want to also say that I know a lot of people still sort of patronize non-orthodox sort of solutions. So they go through the traditional and faith-based groups. Obviously, we have to look at it this way, that what is available, what is readily available, and are people even aware? And that's why your program is very important, because it can help people understand that help is available out there, because people only do what they know. So if I don't know there is a hospital that can treat addictions, and I only know about one maybe spiritual or non-orthodox means, then I'll only go there because that's what I know. But I want to put it out there that the help is available. We have so many centers from the northwest, east, south of the country. I mean, I've just been speaking with friends before this program, and they've sort of said, yeah, we've got centers, Benin, Kaduna, Abuja, and then like Maiduguri and different places, Lagos. They've all got centers that can help people, and also in the eastern part of the country, so that help is available. We have centers that can help people with substances. So what do we do? One, like I said, it's important for family to help these individuals to say, look, you've got a problem, let's have this discussion. You need help, and this help is available. We'll take you to a hospital, you know. And don't do it in a judgmental way. Do it more like, I'm trying to help, because we have this culture of blaming people who are into addictions, but it should be supportive and collaborative. But it's like I was saying earlier, you can sort of take a horse to the river, but you can't sort of force it to drink, isn't it? So you have to understand that if you make it more collaborative, more working together, then that's when things can be fine. And then even for the individuals themselves, like we mentioned earlier, some of them know, I've got a problem, I need help, and for those kind of individuals, it's even easier for them to sort of say, well, where is this help? Let me go for it. Okay, so there's help out there any part of the country you are in, and we have a lot of NGOs these days in Nigeria, for example, and West Africa, that deal with substance misuse specifically, because they've also identified that there is this gap in people's access to getting treatment or help for substance abuse. Okay, in the states where we have, or places where we have federal neuropsychiatry centers, you will always have people who help with substance misuse. So the psychiatric hospital is a good place to go to. We've got so many of them spread across the country, all regions. So that's one place people can go to. You have psychiatrists who are, and psychologists, and people who are trained in helping people with substance misuse. So the first thing is family and friends, or you, the individual suffering from this. There is help out there. If people are telling you you've got a problem, you may be angry, listen to them. It's likely that yes, you've got a problem and they've seen it, but you haven't seen it. And if you yourself have identified it, then go out there and get the types of help available. The question now is this help readily available? Well, I would say it is available, but some of the places are private institutions as well. So people have to pay for that treatment themselves. And again, that's why I said family is important, because maybe the person using the substance has spent all their money, on that substance. So, and they can't just go there, like maybe here in the UK and other places in the world where it's free treatment. I know our system is still based on, you have to pay for treatment out of pocket. And that's why I said family is important. And I mean, one thing we need to make clear is, please, family members, don't be critical of these people. Don't just be judgmental, and let me use the African word, don't just be shouting at them and saying, oh, you are good for the team, you only, because you need to encourage and motivate these people to go out there to seek the help. And we have different things we use in treatment. I don't want to go into this medication or that medication, but what I want to say is we have medications that can substitute those addictions. So for people with alcohol, for example, there are medications that can be substituted. For people with, I think, opiates or things like tramadol, because I know it's quite rampant, they have substitutes, that can substitute that. And then we also have the psychological treatment. I mean, I was just speaking with a few friends earlier on they sort of said, yeah, they do a lot of psychology and psychotherapy around helping people with substance abuse problems. So the help is out there. Go there and you will get it. I wouldn't want to mention centers by name, just so that it won't be an advert for people, but it's just to say the help is available either through the government hospitals, federal neuropsychiatry hospital, or we have private hospitals that deal specifically with substances, and then we have NGOs or non-governmental organizations or foundations, like we say in Nigeria, that deal specifically with substance abuse. Like in the Northeast, for example, we have quite a lot, because of the Boko Haram crisis and stuff. People have turned to drugs and things, and we have so many NGOs involved in helping with substance abuse as well. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a quick one. What immediate help can the friends do other than taking them to help? Is there anything immediately that you can do while you're trying to convince them to go for those help? Is there anything immediate that we could do to help them? Just a quick one.
Yes. So, one of the things we can do is, for example, access to money. Whilst it may not seem the humane thing to do to say taking money off people, but if that person has got that addiction and you know that having access to so much money means more use, then I think as family, as friends, you need to sort of limit their access to money. I mean, the downside to that is, well, will they turn to crime or other things to get money in order to fuel that. And then also maybe having someone with them, you know, just sort of supervising them. And because sometimes they do it when there's no one, that's when they quickly go out and let me quickly go get a joint or a fix. But if you have a family member or friend that doesn't condone such habit, then you have them supervising them, not like you gum yourself to them, because I've seen in some places chain them, but you have someone supervising them, then it will limit their sort of access to going, to having that substance. So that's one very good thing. So make sure family member is with them, especially when they're going through that phase of maybe wanting to help. I just want to add at this stage, we have various stages when people who have substance problem sort of make changes to their life. So we have like 5 stages. I don't want to boss with so much medical stuff, but there's that stage where it's called pre-contemplation. So they are not even thinking I've got a problem, or they're not willing to work. And then there's that stage when, well, everyone is telling them the same thing, you've got a problem. Then they start thinking, well, maybe I've got a problem. So that's what we call like the contemplation. Then you now go to action. Okay, let's do something. And then you go and really start taking the treatment, and then you come off that substance. And let's also add this, that sometimes people, even when they get help, they can relapse or they can fall back into that addiction again. That's more often than not, that's what happens. But as friends, as families, what we need to do is to make sure we don't give up on them, but we encourage them to go back and seek that help, because it's well known all over the world that even when people become abstinent or not using that substance, then there's a high tendency for them to fall back to that substance. And it's a well-known part of the treatment cycle. And so don't go on criticizing or using the word shouting to say, oh, you've gone back to that bad habit, it's evil spirit or it's the devil. It's part of the illness in itself, and you need to encourage them, to go back and receive treatment. I know it may be expensive for some people, but which is more expensive, losing a loved one to drugs, or spending that money and getting them well and back to life and maybe even work and other things? That's what you need to look at. So that's what I'll encourage. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And I like what you said. What is more expensive, losing a loved one to substance misuse, or having them back to who they used to be, to that loving person that they used to be? Thank you so much, Dr. Haruna. And just to say it again, help is available. Reach out to those help. And as families and friends, we could help them by putting a barrier, or like he said, just have taking away, restricting their access to those substances that are damaging to them, and putting somebody out there that can stand and a gap to be able to correct them and lead them aright. Let us know that you are not alone in this struggle. There is a team that out there, people who are ready to support you. So go and get use of this team that is out there. Do not suffer alone. And this is where we're cutting it for today. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to get in touch with me by sending an email to info@fatscorner.org, or through a direct message on our Facebook at fatscorner.org. You can also put your comments in the comment section of this broadcast. Thank you. Until next time, speak up.